Hi, everyone. We are back. It is 12 noon Pacific time, and we are so pleased to introduce you to Shanelle Boyd.
Greetings, everyone. I am so excited to be in this space with you. And so I just want to remind you right now just take a deep breath and know that even though I'm sharing with you my journey, I am a reflection of you. So I pray that things land, that things awaken within you, and you just say yes to your journey. So, what I want to do first is just introduce myself. So, my name is Coach Shanelle Adisa Boyd. I go by Adisa or I go by Coach Shanelle. Adisa means the one who is clear. And that name was given to me. It was given to me, such a sacred name, in my process of becoming a spiritual life coach. So, in the world, I show up as a feminine embodiment and spiritual life coach. I'm also an author, a founder, a CEO, a supporting wife. I love my role as a wife and a proud mother of five. I love my role as a mother. It's been so rewarding and it's required a lot of work. So, I'm just going to share with you there's my mission and my vision on the screen. However, my vision is my bread and butter. My vision is what guides me to say yes or to say no. My vision is what is supporting me to be right here, right now in this space, in front of you, with you, as a reflection of you. And so, my vision, I share it boldly, which is to co create a liberated world where women are balanced in self love, where they are secure in their divine energy while holding the power of their voice as sacred. So I want to remind you use your voice, check in, use your voice. And everything you do, be, say, think, use your voice. Now, remember, you don't always have to say and think everything, and use your voice. So, did I skip? No. Okay. So I just want to share with you my journey, my why. So there's a wound that sparked the becoming of who I am. And I'm clear in this right now moment. Nothing is by accident. However, growing up, I was so confused. Like, why is this my life? Now I'm like, I'm so grateful this is my life. And one of the most rewarding, if not the most rewarding blessings, is that I became a mother at the age of, I became pregnant at the age of 16 and became a mother at the age of 17 and 19. Such a blessing. Such a blessing. I used to view it as a wound, but it saved me. And then navigating the generational trauma, the societal pressures, the self hatred for my skin and hair. Because let me tell you, I grew up in Grove City, Ohio. Went to it was just a predominantly area with people that didn't look like me. And so it was difficult to navigate. There were a lot of instances where I was talked about, where I was picked on, and I tried to fit in. In this now moment, I'm okay with being authentically me. But back in the day, it was like I'm trying to fit in. My hair didn't look like others. My skin didn't look like others. So I was good at silencing my voice and disconnecting from myself for the need to survive. I will tell you, don't show up in the world that way. Give yourself permission to be you. To be you. Being you is the most important person on your journey, and it's so rewarding. But let me share with you my aha moment. I have plenty of them. I still have so many aha moments that they will never go away, and I'm so thankful and grateful. But the Perry shows up because it means I am experiencing life. So, what happened for me that shifted my walk, that shifted my world, that shifted my life, that shifted my understanding and my purpose was through my spiritual certification process to become a spiritual life coach, which happened at Inner Visions through with Iyanla Van Zandt. So rewarding. So I invite you to work on yourself, to heal, to call out that little girl within you because it's so rewarding. And then through that process, I realized I didn't need it to fix myself. I needed to remember who I was, who I am. So remember, everything that I'm sharing with you, know that I'm a reflection of you. Know that you are here, you are listening to me because we are oneness, in oneness. So just realize who you are. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to remember who you are and step into that space boldly and authentically. So, before we move on, I want to invite you to do something. I want to invite you to take a deep breath. And in that deep breath, I want you to play, right? So I want to ask you to think of a song, and whatever song comes to your mind, hold that. It doesn't have to make sense. It's real quick. Think of a song. Think of a song, hold that song, or write it down if you need to. And then I want to ask you to check in. Let's meet your inner little girl. And so, with that, I want you to ask yourself, what does this song represent? How is this song showing up for me? Is this the adult me? Is this the little me, the younger me? For instance, when I said it, what came to my mind is Pippi Longstocking is coming into your world. Do you remember that song? Do you remember that show? I was in love with Pippi Longstocking, not her, just the show. Like, it was so exciting to watch and just to envision myself in that space as the free little girl. And the fact that that song literally just came up in my head when I asked you all to take a breath and to pull a song acknowledges and reminds me that my little girl is still present, that she is still active, that she still needs me to show up for her. And so I want to invite you to meet your inner little girl if you have not, if you are not in oneness with her. Because let me tell you something, if you don't, she will make it known that she is present. Because anytime you are not okay, that's not you. That is not your adult self. As adults, we are okay. But when we're upset, when we're feeling anything other than peace, oneness, our little girl is present. And there's something that she needs us to know. And so it's like, who is she? Who is your little girl? So, your little girl, your inner girl, give her a name. I call mine Tink Tink. My little girl's Tink Tink. And let me even show you. Through the process of getting to know my little girl, I carried around a doll. And now I keep her with me at all times. Well, let me restate that. Inwardly, I know my little girl is with me at all times. I carried her around with me without leaving her anywhere for a month. And she was like, I would literally keep her right here, like to remind myself, I have a little girl within me who needs me. And so I want to invite you to remember that you have a little girl within you who needs you. She needs you more than anything. So again, she is the keeper of your innocence, your dreams, and she also holds your early wounds. Because there are times where our little girls might show up because they think they did something wrong in the past. And as the adult, we have to remind ourselves, you did nothing wrong. You did everything you were supposed to do. And then guess what? She's also a part of you that still longs to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. Because if there was anything you were lacking growing up, that is still present. Now, does it have to consume you? No. And my offering is to not let it consume you by being present with your little girl. But the part of you that still needs to be seen, that needs to be heard, that needs to be loved, she is there. And she will show up. And she will challenge you. So you, in your divine feminine energy, have to step in and nurture. You have to nurture you. Because you are the most important person in your story. The most important person in your story. So, do you want to know how she shows up unhealed? And remember, there's no judgment in this. Please, I ask that in this conversation, as you were sitting here, as you were listening to me, just reflect. And because, again, I'm a reflection of you, there is no judgment. But let me introduce some ways to how you, your little girl, might show up in spaces and you know that she's unhealed and she needs you. People pleasing. Do you find yourself trying to people please? I know I once was. People pleasing even looked like me silencing myself. You don't have to do that. And remind your little girl, it is safe. It is safe. You might have had to people please back in your younger years, trying to come up to trying to make sure that, your environment was safe or just falling in line. Because I think about all the time me being a young parent and how I parented my children. I parented my children through fear, which then created fear in their lives, right? And so it was a do what I say. My children didn't have a voice. And I'm okay with saying that and understanding that I took their voice away from them in fear. And so they naturally showed up in places people pleasing, maybe not because they wanted to, because they felt they had to. And so if you have a little girl that shows up in that way, it's okay. And it's okay to say, you know what? I'm complete. I am going to take this another step. We no longer have to people please. That might have worked for us when we were younger, but it's not necessary now. And then self doubt. There's so many different stages in our life, in different age stages. Mistrust versus trust. That is so important. Self doubt can show up in that stage. So if that is present for you, that's okay. It's calling you, it's showing up for you to heal her, for you to be healed, for you to honor yourself, for you to say yes to yourself. And then let me tell you this, the fear of being seen. I want you to know all these are present because I had to and still work through this every day. There is always something showing up for me. Now, does it consume me all the time? No, but I'm aware like, up, my little girl needs my attention. Let me spend some time with my little girl. So the fear of being seen, that is that's a big one for me. Because oftentimes I'm like, I want people to see me. I want people to know that I have been given this to be of service. And it's also like, ooh, I have to use my voice for people to see me. What if I say something wrong? What if I do something wrong? What if people judge me? Then I have to go inward. And I'm like, little tink tink, it is okay. It is okay. I am going to protect you. You can just rest. And then later on, we can watch Mary Poppins. Because me and my little tink tink, it goes down. And I make sure that I reward the little girl within me. And then overachieving from a place of feeling like you are not enough. If that shows up for you, I want you to just take a deep breath. Take that deep breath. Take that deep breath and remind yourself that you are enough. But it's not you, it's your little girl. You need to remind her. You see her? Get you a little doll too. You need to remind yourself that you are enough, that you do not have to show up trying to perform in life. But I want you to know when that is present, your little girl is present. So, again, if you're trying to people please, if there's self doubt, if there's a fear of being seen or overachieving, your little girl needs your attention. And the question is like, what did your little girl hear when you were growing up? When she was growing up? What did she hear? What did you hear? I want you to ask yourself, what voices did I hear? What was always being told to me? Whether it was from your parents, your siblings, your teachers, friends, random people. What was being told to you? And in that space, I want you to know that's where she needs you. So, I want to share my healing journey with you. And again, remember, I am a reflection of you. There is no separation. So, as I am sharing this journey with you, I invite you to take your own journey. I invite you to say yes, because your yes has the power to change the world. Your yes has the power to change the lives of not only you, but everyone connected to you. Me saying yes requires me to be so vulnerable, so vulnerable. I'm still working with being vulnerable because my entire life I felt safe covering myself from the heartaches. Because, honey, I have a whole book, a whole story of heartaches and heartbreaks. But vulnerability is so healing. It's necessary, it's important. And like I said, it shifts your world and everybody connected to you. So, to share my healing journey and remember our healing journey, the first thing I did that I can remember was I started working with a coach. And this was right after I went through my divorce. This lady I was working with, she seen like energetically in me, like, you a little heavy. And I was like, because I was going through, I was complete with a divorce, but still, no, I wasn't complete. I was going through the divorce. And she invited me into a space where there was this lady who was a coach. I did not know that I needed her in that moment. I was still resistant. I would go to those meetings at this lady's house. I can't remember if it was a weekly meeting. It might have been. It was so long ago. It was over 10 years ago. And so I started going to that group, and then I started working with her one-on-one. And I was still covered. I had all the walls up and everything, not realizing she was who I prayed for. And so when I started working with a coach, she would challenge me, like, journal this, talk to me. And I would sit there and I was real safe, real safe. Like, I'm only feeding her what it is I want her to know. Vulnerability was not present, not at all. And then so as I went on, I started watching Fix My Life with Iyanla Vanzant. And I was like, okay, obviously, since, I am the common denominator because I had a Phoebeus. Let me add this disclaimer. I am in the stage of perimenopause. And so anytime something comes up, if my brain goes right in perfect health, meaning I lose thought or my words get tongue tied, I just say, Perry. That means I know it's happening and I'm inviting myself to come back in oneness. So, anyway, if you hear me saying Perry, just know that's what it is. And my Superman/husband, his last name is Perry. So I always say, I married a Perry and caught the Perry. That's a little disclaimer. But anyway, so I was watching Fix My Life. And I said, okay, Shanelle, this is my journey. I can't blame the experiences in my life with my children's father because that was a relationship I was in for a long time, 14 to late 20s. It's so long I don't even remember. I can't blame my experiences on the person I divorced. I am the common denominator. So it's like, okay, watching her shows, I became open to checking in. Like, what is going on with me? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And so then through the process, I cannot tell you how, other than the universe knew what I needed was for me to end up getting the opportunity to get my spiritual life coaching certification under Iyanla Vanzant. A blessing, life changing. And in that, I was invited to, number one, be aware that I had an inner child because I had no clue. I knew I was a girl. I knew that I, grew up. I knew that I went from 0 to however old I was, but I wasn't aware that she was still within me. And so I began to, have that awareness and understanding of the different age stages and check in. And so I started doing practices with my little girl, me. And it is so freeing. And then once I gave myself permission to feel, I gave myself permission to understand, I gave my Perry, I gave myself permission to just be. It was clear. This is my yes. This is my reward. This is my vision. This is my mission, to be of service and to support and ask women all over the world to honor their little girl, to know that healing comes from healing within. There is nothing anyone, anything can do for you. Nobody can say, I am sorry, and you be healed. You have to check in with your little girl. And so the practices that I had with me, myself, and I call her Tink Tink, supported and supports the healing. So things still come up right now. Like I was working with my coach. I have a coach and a therapist because this life's journey, I said yes to it. And because I am of service to others, I need to keep growing and healing as well. And so I was telling my coach, I had an upset. And I said, what was showing up, I had to go inward and see why was this present and why does it keep showing up? So when I was sitting, it was, oh, my little girl. And I had recalled one of the experiences, and it was around being seen, being heard. Like I was telling myself I wasn't being seen and I wasn't being heard, and it was inviting upset. And so I had to sit and ask myself, what is it? What is showing up? And I'm inviting you to do the same thing. If you feel upset, if you feel anything other than okay, ask yourself, what is showing up? And in that space, it was a vivid memory because my mom raised me as a Jehovah's Witness. And I remember knocking on someone's door because my mom said I had to knock on the door and I had to say, whatever it is I was supposed to say. And I just didn't want to. And when that happened, a man opened the door and he fussed at us to get off of his property. And inside the door, inside that home, it was 2 twins that I went to school with. And so, number one, I was embarrassed. But when I went back to school, the whole class laughed at me. And so that was the time that I was seen, but did not want to be seen. And so that stuck with me. And I had to pull that up to see, okay, Shanelle, what is this? What is showing up? The fear, the need to be seen, but not be seen in a way where people are making fun of me, went back to when I was in elementary school. So again, inner child healing practices supported me and allowed me to work into forgiveness, because forgiveness is important, right? Forgiveness isn't just a word to say like, oh, I forgive myself. No. Be okay with understanding what happened, and you're willing to move forward. And that's what it is. This happened, and I'm okay with moving forward. And I honor myself with moving forward. And, not a but, and. And so then also I gave my girl a voice. My voice, my authentic voice, not trying to be like anybody, not trying to mirror anybody, definitely taking wisdom from others, but giving myself my voice, my authentic voice, the voice that I silenced from youth to adulthood, the voice that I silenced at times. So healing. And then let me tell you what supported me. And prayerfully, if you are listening to this, it is not by accident. So let me invite you into what supported me. And then I invite you to ask, to pray, to receive. What is it that you need to support you? But journaling. Let me tell you again, remember I said I had a coach. My first coach, she used to always say, write about this, write about this. And I would be like, I am not writing. It just wasn't, I didn't feel like it. I felt like it was high school. Like I wasn't a fan of homework. And so it's like you're giving me homework. No. However, journaling is so important to me. And I look at it as heart work. It's something I'm doing for my heart. So writing out what is coming to me in the right now moment. If it does not make sense, that is okay. No judgment. But this is what I'm definitely going to write about. Journaling is so supportive. It gives me permission to release what is inward, what does not need to be said, but needs to be said. And I have a lot of those. There are times when I'm saying something that doesn't need to be said because there's words, sentences, thoughts that everybody doesn't need to know, right? But they need to get out. And so journaling is so supportive. And journaling has so many different ways to support you, me. I'm offering that. And then mirror work. I had to get in the mirror and see who I was. I had to ask myself, Perry, I had to ask myself for permission to see me. It was the most hardest experience in my life. Working on me was the most hardest experience in my life. Not having children, not going through breakups, not having enough finances, not getting my gallbladder removed, working on me. And it is the most rewarding experience in my life. It has created my right now. It has created the most beautiful experience I'm having with my family, with my husband, with our children, with my friends, with everybody I'm connected to. Mirror work will help you get down. You have to see you. And then breath work, embodiment rituals. Who are you? Who have you been called to be? Asking that question, taking breath to give yourself permission to be still has been so supportive for me. And I invite you, if you've been like, what is it that I need? Take a deep breath, drop in, and ask. And trust what comes up is for you. And then allowing my softness, I ask you to allow your softness to be sacred. So, as a feminine embodiment coach, and part of my vision is to restore the divine feminine energy of the woman. I am so clear that our presence, our nurturing, our softness changes the world. And allowing that softness to consume me, allowing me to be okay with that, has been so supportive towards my healing. And I invite you to say yes. I invite you to get clear, to understand that your little girl needs you. And so becoming whole and authentic, important. I can't express how important it is because you have to release the old without judgment. One of the most, no, is it one of the most or the most important thing you can do is live a life free of judgment. Meaning, however you show up in the world, okay. Be compassionate around that. Be understanding. Release the old. Let go of old stories. The stories are not serving. The stories might have created you, right? But they do not define you. And so I tell myself and my clients all the time, release the story. The story keeps you in a circle, revisiting the same thing over and over and over and over again. Release the story and let go of those limiting beliefs. I don't know what your limiting belief is, but mine was and still tries to show up is not good enough. But I know that's a lie, honey. That's a lie to the fifth, to the sixth, to the seventh, to the 100th degree. It is a lie. So release that. And then return to your body, your values, your truth. Holistically, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Return to you. Get clear on who it is you've been called to be and stand in that. Because becoming whole and authentic is life-changing. It is rewarding, and everyone connected to you will reap. You will sow a seed that is watered, and you will watch that seed grow, and you will be like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you embody the new. So living aligned with your vision and your voice. Use your voice. However, you have to be clear on what your vision is. What is your vision? Are you clear on what a vision is? Are you okay with being led by your vision? My hope is you say yes. If you're not clear on what your vision is, that is okay. And when you have clarity, you allow your vision to guide you and you use your voice, understanding that nothing is by accident and your voice is here to change the world. And then let me tell you, embodying the new, restoring the divine feminine energy. Oof. This has been the most sacred journey, restoring the divine feminine energy. That is what I stand on. That has been given to me in so many different ways, and I was resistant, like, me? You want me to show up in the world embodying and saying and being a reflection of divine feminine energy? Do you know the things that I used to do? Do you know how I was perceived? Yes. Embody and restore your divine feminine energy is powerful. It welcomes you to becoming whole and authentic, life-changing. And so I want to invite you, say yes to restoring your divine feminine energy. You're a nurturer. Your stillness, your presence heals generations, heals communities. And that is the way you embody the new. And then loving the woman you are and the girl you were, the girls who is still present. So I seen something on social media where she was talking about how she used to be bigger, how she used to do this, how she is this. Okay. And love her. Loving you gives me, loving her, loving you, and me loving me creates a freedom that is undescribable. Nothing is by accident. So to become you, to become whole, to become authentic, you must love the woman that you are. And you must be clear on who you are. You must love the little girl within you. I look at her every day and I'm just so pleased with myself. Like, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Excuse me. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for all the things you did as a child. Because we are here right now. So, I want to invite you. I want to invite you into a space. I want to invite you to create a space for yourself because you have to create a space to be open. You have to create a safe space for you to get clear. You have to create a space for you to use your voice. I want to remind you, I hear so many people saying, I don't feel safe. I don't have any friends. Women are this, women are that. People are fake. I used to say it too. But I want you to remember, excuse me, what we say is what we attract to us. There are amazing, amazing sisterhoods out here. Serve in them. And so, how I serve, and I invite you to listen and allow it to feel, see what feeling you get in your body, to see if you've been called to serve in a way that will support you with becoming, being whole, while honoring the little girl within you. So now I am the founder of Woman to Woman, and I am Adisa. Me. Woman to Woman is a nonprofit organization. I Am Adisa is where I show up in the world as a feminine embodiment and spiritual life coach. Me. Me. When I think back, me. So I invite you, figure out how to serve. I also hold sacred spaces. I do group coaching. I do workshops and conferences. The one that I am here right now speaking to you through. I invite you not only to check in with me, but to check in with you, becoming whole. See where it is you need to serve. Service is part of a vision to create a life, a world that is not just for you. You are here to be of service to others. Get clear. And then I also blend spiritual wisdom with practical strategies to support women with becoming introspective. Because let me tell you, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to need you to go inward because it's not his fault. It's not her fault. It's not their fault. There's no fault, no judgment. And I need you to go inward. Healing requires inward. Okay? Being self-nurturing. When you go inward, things might come up. You have to remember to nurture yourself because how you nurture yourself is how you nurture others. And the world needs you. And then being authentic. Let me tell you, I am going to show up in this world who I've been called to be authentically without any judgment. Is it always the case? No. There definitely are times where I'm judging myself and I have to go in. We're like, okay, Tink Tink, what is it that you need from me? But the invitation to serve, that's how I serve. That is what is supporting me with being whole, being in the world, and honoring my little girl. And I invite you to serve. So I also have an invitation for you to join sacred communities of women walking in their wholeness. Do that for you. Say yes to your healing. Say yes to your healing. Say yes to your healing. It wasn't an accident that I said that many times because I know it can be scary. I know it can be uncomfortable. Staying in the same place and space is comfortable for so many people. But I invite you to say yes to your healing. Say yes to your voice. Your voice is needed. Your voice is needed. Your voice is needed. Say yes to it. And say yes to your divine feminine energy. She has the power to shift and shape the world. I promise you, life changing. So remember who you are. Remember who you are. If I was to ask you and to see you and say, who are you? I want you to stand in that. I want you to know who you are without any judgment. And so, if you're needing a place and space, I invite you to join our community. It's a place and space for you. Place and space for you. And like I said, I have been called, I am clear, doing the work, being a reflection of the work, restoring the divine feminine energy. Me, Coach Shanelle, Coach Adisa, restoring the divine feminine energy has been my sacred yes to the world. I was resistant. I still find myself being resistant at times, but I am clear. So, as I invite you into the space, I invite you to find your space, to create your space, knowing that you are called, you are needed. And I tell myself, I am called, I am needed. Nothing is by accident. So, if you ever want to reach out, if you ever need me, you can reach me by these ways. But remember, being whole, becoming whole, honoring your little girl within is a journey that creates liberation. If you don't know what liberation feels like, ask. Don't ask me, ask. Go inwardly and ask. And be ready to receive. So I thank you for this space. I thank you for this time. I thank you that you are hearing this. And I want to remind you it is not by accident, not by accident at all. You are needed. Your little girl needs you. She wants you. And you have something to do in this world. So have an amazing journey. Have an amazing yes season. And I am complete.
Hello. Thank you
Ah,
so much.
you're
That was
welcome. Thank
amazing. Um, I have some comments here for you from your, um, well, one, I really appreciate the interaction with our inner child. There's so much wisdom that they carry. And for me, she's so whimsical, and there's a spiritual healing in whimsy.
Yes, receive it. When I tell you, these little girls, I just talk to my little girl all the time, but these little girls, they show up and they need us, right?
Yes.
They need us as the adults. It's life changing to have an understanding that your little child is present, your little girl. We never leave, right? Just because we grow up as an adult, our little girls still are present and they need us. And how she can show up is life changing. And to invite yourself into a spiritual release, life changing. So thank you
Life
for your
changing.
yes.
Yeah. I'm fortunate. I have a relationship with a woman who babysat me from the time I was born to I was probably 4 years old or so. And one day she sent me a picture of me that I'd never seen before. And it was, I think getting that picture was life changing because
Yeah.
it, I got to see myself through her eyes, not through, you know, my experience and the pictures that I'd seen from my family. And so I keep that picture on my desk now because
Yes.
um, I think that girl was so innocent and so pure and so special, you know. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank
It
you so
really
much for this
is.
work.
You're welcome. It's my honor. And as you shared about your picture, I in the process that I had to go through with restoring a relationship with me, I found a picture of myself that I scribbled out. And so I literally
Oh,
brought middle school and high school was tough for me. And so I did not like that little girl, like because I wanted to fit in and I didn't fit in. My color, my skin, my nose, nothing fit in. And so I was so upset with her. And when I saw that picture that I crossed out, like I carved an X in her, I was like, this is you. This is the little girl that I need to heal. And so that's the relationship building that I've been having with myself. And just having that picture there, like reminding me, it's like, thank you. And I'm doing this for you. So just hearing you, the picture you got and you saw yourself through somebody else's lens, I pray that that was so life changing and is so life changing for you too.
so life changing. And I still, because she's right here, so I still look at her all the time, and I just think, um, kind of like I wish I knew her, like as a separate person. Like I wish I knew that little girl.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank
You're
you for the
welcome.
work that you do. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for your community. Everyone, please join Adisa's community. It's, again, life changing. We're constantly growing and we're constantly changing. And I always think that if you came here today and you saw her message, it was because you were supposed to.
Yes.
So yes, so join her community and join us here and change your life. Thank you.
Yes. Join us here at She Is Me. So life changing. So life changing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well,
We are going to welcome Anne Marie Cribben at the top of the hour. So we'll be right back.